Hi, everybody, and welcome to Pet Loss Perspectives. And I am so thrilled today to have with me Byron Owens. And Byron, you grew up in these parts, didn't you?
I did.
That is like, I can't even imagine being a kid growing up around the sanctuary before it was the sanctuary. How long have you been with Best Friends?
I just hit 6 years on this for Angel's Rest, but I think it's 10 years total. So.
10 years. So tell me, what do you do at Best Friends?
I am a caretaker at the memorial garden that we have at Angel's Rest.
At Angel's Rest, which is beautiful. And for those of you who have not experienced Angel's Rest, we do have some lovely videos out there, and the grounds are impeccably kept, and the chimes are tinkling in the wind, and it's just a really beautiful and harmonious place to be.
Yeah, I think it's very sacred.
It is very sacred. That's a really good word to use. And wow, let's go way back on Byron, right? Byron, for 25 years, has been practicing EMT, which is emotional freedom technique known as tapping.
Yeah, and EFT is more like a therapeutic, that originally started kind of like a therapeutic thing. And I think tapping is more like a personal practice. So.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit more about it. And before we get started, I just want to make sure that, when we do talk about the therapeutic practice, that it's recognized by the American Psychological Association. And this program is not a substitute for seeking professional help. So please, we want to make sure if you need help, please get the help you need from an accredited and professional source. Let's get started, because even when we introduced the fact that we were going to be talking to you about tapping, so many people raised a lot of interest and have heard a lot about it. So for our folks at home, tell us, how does tapping work?
That's a great question. Tapping it was based on meridian points, but I really think what it is it gives us the ability to give a consistent signal to the nervous system that it's safe. And that's probably the most important part of it. It's going to give you a consistent signal that you're safe by you touching, there's 10 meridian points, and you just hold them or touch them. And what that brings to your body is, instead of worrying about the external environment being so loud and boisterous, and sometimes our insides get totally loud and boisterous, but it gives us an opportunity to tell our regulation system, yeah, we're okay right now. We can just process things.
So here we are in Pet Loss Perspectives, and I want to know, how is this helpful when we relate to grief and the active mourning process? How is this helpful?
I would say, I think that grief is kind of like this sacred language that your body has to talk about. It has to say it. Like when we lose a pet or a friend, I think that bond stays, but that change of being outside us and being our pet in our regulation system, because we do, when we get a pet or an animal that we spend all that time with, we actually immerse our nervous systems.
I always say, we begin to share our DNA.
Yeah, it really is like that. And those effects of having grief, like those sadness, those waves of sadness, those kind of things, those are all related to your body just getting used to that nervous system that was once external and cuddly, now becoming internal, and like these beautiful memories that we go back to regulate ourselves. It's just kind of like a transition period. And I think tapping really helps with that transition period. It gives us an opportunity, because we're all going to grieve. It's all going to have to come out at some point. If you have to, because sometimes socially it's not okay to grieve, so we'll hold it back for later. And if we don't ever come back to later, then it just sits there for us.
Well, and that's one of my real sticking points, is that socially it's still some weirdness. I don't know what happened to us along the way, especially in the Western world that we live in. We feel like we have to bottle up and hold a lot of that in, or we're afraid of being ostracized, or people being nice and meaning well. They want to make us feel better right away, when really all that causes is for us to like hold it in even tighter.
Yeah, it's true. And it's intense. Like, you know, it's an intense experience. And I think in the past, humans regulated each other on more than in Western society. They just regulated each other all the time. But now we've really turned to our pets. Like, having a pet lowers cortisol. Like, it regulates your nervous system. Tapping lowers cortisol, regulates your nervous system. So when you've lost your little regulating friend, it's nice to have something to lean back on, because your body's looking for, oh, I thought I heard him. Your body's like trying to find these moments where it's still there, and it has to recognize that it's moved to the internal part. And then tapping kind of helps you with that frothy, all those emotional feelings. Even when I do tapping with people later, you know, much later, years later after they've had an experience, they're still crying, they're still having all these somatic responses. And that's why it's called a somatic meditation, is because instead of asking questions about the story first, we're just saying, how does your body feel? What does your body feel like in this moment?
So kind of like tapping into, where am I at right now? And then how do I help regulate myself or ground myself?
Yeah.
Would that be
Absolutely.
appropriate to say?
A lot of people say that tapping grounds them. That's a good way to say it. Just what you're doing is you're going into homeostasis, or parasympathetic nervous response, which is that, what they call it, rest, digest, and heal, right?
Rest, digest, and heal. And I love the way you have framed this immediately following a loss, is called the first separation. That's your first recognition that, okay, this is change.
Yeah.
And I don't know about anybody else, but change is sometimes really super hard, especially in the face of sudden loss.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even try to quantify it, because whether it's sudden loss or you've seen it coming, that separation, you're not ready for it.
Yeah. And it has to process through each place. So if you lived in two houses with your pet and you have to go back to that other house, you're going to have that wave again as your nervous system again looks for the animal. So it is a process, and it's really about being patient, kind, and giving yourself permission, because it's okay to feel those things. It's not about fixing anything. It's a transitional period. So yeah, that permission to just allow them to move into your heart is really, I think, important, and don't push it.
Don't push it.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking before this about, and I always get on this bandwagon about self-care. Well, self-care, it means so many different things to everybody. Yeah. And there's just like when we are in a crisis, or we're facing a moment where we do feel dysregulated from our nervous systems, we don't have like, oh, I'm going to hold this because in a week I'm going to get a massage.
Yeah.
Or later tonight I'm going to have a bubble bath. And all those things are nice, but what can we do right now? Say right now you are in that moment of feeling your heightened, heart rate, palpitations, you are overwhelmed or overcome with grief. What is something that we could tell folks that we could do right now that could just help bring us into the present moment?
Yeah. Well, there's 10 meridian points that we use for the tapping. And I'm always going to say, first, it's 90 seconds that you just kind of hold these points on your body.
So what points are we talking about?
So underneath the knuckle right there.
Underneath that knuckle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can just hold the point or tap it. A hold is a tap, right? I would say that. Hold that, and then you can go to the top of your head.
And you put 2 fingers on the top of your head?
Just the very top of your head.
Okay.
And then the next one is the beginning of your eyebrow. It's actually all around the ocular cavity. So right there where the edge comes in, you just hold it gently or tap it.
I just took a breath.
And you're going to find yourself having somatic responses. You might be sighing, you might yawn, you might feel movement in your body. All those things. So at the corner of your eye, right on the bone, right there on that little edge of the bone.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing this with us?
Yeah, do it with us. Then same under the eye, right on that ridge of the bone.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can feel it.
Now you're just touching.
I'm just
Should you
touching.
tap?
Both.
Like, why is it called, like, what's the difference between applying pressure and tap? I know what the difference is, but what is the difference in how it affects the meridian?
I think it, when you're tapping it gently, it seems to be more...
Like activated?
Yeah, more pressure. Because every time you touch, when you're tapping, what should be kind of going through your head is you're telling your nervous system, you are safe, you are loved. You are safe, you are loved.
Aww.
You are safe. So instead of like creating the perfect environment for you to maybe I hope I relax in this hot bath, it's I'm telling my body specifically, repeatedly, that it's safe and loved. And that's why it helps so much in the moment. So if you're in that moment, the brain doesn't know the difference between it happened last week and it's happening now. So
because your nervous system gets into tracks of reactivity,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it just gets into its space. It's like, I need to be protected. I need to be safe, right? So this is you saying, you are safe. You're protected. It's okay.
And you can do this on the bus, the train, in your car.
Everywhere. You don't need anything but your fingers.
But see, that's what I love about this, because I am one of those people, and I know I've said this over and over again, is like, I'm going to wait to do something for myself.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I would say 99% of the time, when you're feeling that, you need help right now.
You do. And you don't know, say you don't take care of it, and then you're in the same situation in a month, and so that triggers it. So your body goes, oh, you're ready to do this? And so it says, so start to feel it again, right? If you know these things, you can go, that's where tapping as a practice, like a daily hygienic practice just for your nervous system. You can go in there every day and say, what's up today? What do I need to kind of process today, you know?
So we have,
So one.
do you go in any particular sequence?
Yeah, it's a 10-order sequence. So
Okay, so it's a 10-order sequence, and we're going to give you information on how to contact or to look at. Byron has an Instagram
and a TikTok.
And a TikTok where he walks you through these. So don't try. You know, you can also look them up, but
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. What are those 10? Right. So let's go through the 10.
Sure. 1, beginning side of the hand we call setup point.
Okay.
Top of the head.
Top of the head.
Beginning of the eyebrow.
Beginning of the eyebrow.
Side of the eye.
Side of the eye.
Under the eye.
Under.
Right on the lip of that bone. And then the one under the nose is just on the gums, kind of like that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then under your lips, again, it's on your gums. And then this one, you find your little nubs, about 3 fingers under that, between the 2 ribs. That's the main point. It's kind of
Okay.
more like right here.
Okay.
But when I tap, yeah.
Oh, I feel a big difference between here and here. Wow. Does anyone ever stop breathing? I stop breathing a lot, you know, or hold my breath. And this is making me have breath.
One thing I love about tapping is it's all about a expanding and unwinding and opening, a blooming of the body. Like when everything is fear-based, it's all clenched, and everything tapping is all opening. It's all this blooming part. And then when you get to this point, what we do is something called ho'oponopono. Have you ever heard that?
Yes, I have. Okay, say that again for everyone.
So when we get to this point, we use ho'oponopono, which
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'o.
Ho'o.
I guess I said it wrong.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Ho'oponopono.
Yeah, which is a practice, a Hawaiian practice, and this is just a small part of it. But basically, you say, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you."
That's so beautiful. I forgot all about that.
It's such a cool practice.
It really is. That's beautiful. And, you know, that leads me to, was that number 10?
No, then we've got one underneath the arm.
Okay.
Right here where a bra strap or a backpack might go. And you'll feel it's kind of between the
meridian. It's tender.
And then the 10th point is actually the top of the head again.
Okay.
And I always say, it's the point so good you do it twice. So that's the end. That's the whole sequence.
Oh, it's like a cycle.
Yeah, like a circle. So tap around and find out.
I love that. Tapo. Tapo. We're going to go through those again, but I wanted to bring up a couple of other scenarios, and I know that this applies to all of those scenarios, and that this is an awesome opportunity to start your day, use throughout the day. What about you're standing there you are in the vet's office and you have had to make the gut-wrenching decision to say goodbye to one of your beloved animal companions. And we've all been there. Our hearts are pounding. Our pulse is quick. We may feel sick to our stomachs. We worry if we're doing the right thing. We worry about it. We feel guilty. It's all just so overwhelming. Maybe we can't go through the entire sequence at that moment. Is there something while we're there that we can do to just bring ourselves back into our breath, bring ourselves back into our body?
I hold these points a lot.
You do?
Yeah, and even like maybe put one under my arm here. See, look, that looks nice and natural. You can just kind of like, it's a self-hug there, and you're holding those points, and take the breath. And it's really about, like you said, it's a sacred language that your body has to say. Like, you may not say it all there in front of the vet and everything like that, but when you go home, you're going to have these moments, and they're going to come up in waves. And I just say at that moment, just say, if you think maybe I should tap on this, you probably should have already been tapping on it.
Gotcha.
It's just a good remember. Like, when you finally get to the point where you recognize how stressed you are, you should have been already kind of addressing it. So never second guess yourself. If you say, maybe I should tap on this,
go ahead.
You should be already doing it. Yeah.
There's no wrong tapping.
You can't mess up. You can't accidentally calm yourself too much. So
This is true. And I dare think that this has a direct effect on our animal companions as well.
Absolutely.
Because you were there for them, whether you're saying goodbye suddenly or you're saying goodbye at the vet or you're at your home, you definitely want to convey a sense of calm for them during their transition as best you can. Sure. I mean, there's only so much emotional regulation we're capable of in any given situation.
They understand. I mean, our pets have spent all those sad moments in bed with us, all those little secret, quiet sadness parts. They've been with us, and they know that. In fact, it's kind of like this sacred commitment to your pet that you're like, you're going to help me regulate, and I promise I'm not going to get unregulated. You know what I mean? It's like this bond.
Maybe explain that a little bit more.
Well, we regulate each other, right? A bond is a bond. So when you take that, they accept that bond very quickly. They can, right? Once they understand the trust, they're like, you're mine, I'm yours, we're in this together, right? And
I love that.
Yeah, and that's really what happens when we lose them. It's that that whole having to take that and move it inside to our hearts and things. So, did I answer your question? I might have lost.
I think you're doing beautifully. What do you guys think? I think that this is absolutely just so important and integral to the love we share with our animal companions, that we want them to have a sense of comfort, and we also want to show up there for them. They've showed up for us, right?
Continuously, right?
Continuously, without flinch, right? They show up for us.
And how nice it is to have, rather than like, I hope that I can be there for them emotionally, I hope that I can be regulated for them, but having a technique and a tool where you say, I can show up this way because I know that if I do this thing, then I get these results. And that's the nice thing about calling it a technique, is it, if you do it in the way that it does it, the light switch always turns on. So flip the switch. Yeah.
Flip the switch. Tap around and find out.
That's right.
I like that. Well, there's one other evil meaning I want to bring up. And I think what we're doing is really just seeding this for everybody. We're just sinking in, because I think the answer is going to probably be the same.
I am pretty.
But it's anniversaries. I have one coming up of April 2nd, and it's I can't be more grateful to you for tapping into this, so to speak. I didn't mean to make a pun, but to tap into this, because I find our loved ones, they're gone all year long, but there's something about the anniversary where the holidays are roll around, or the certain smells and the light has changed outside. Like your body knows that anniversary is upon you.
Yeah. And often, like you said, you say, I'm going to do this later. a lot of times in our head, I'm going to do this later means I'm going to do this when I think about it again next year. Like, it's almost, you're like, I'm going to deal with this notification later. And so when we come up on anniversaries, we can be prepared for those. We can prepare for that by thinking through some of the thoughts that might come before that anniversary, or the things we're worried about might come up. Like, we can address those before those times, because that's what it's there for, to bring it, so we can say, oh, have they integrated all the way in, or am I still holding this nervous system, like, kind of like, am I still looking for it out here, or have they really become part of me again? So
Yeah, I think it's a full circle, right?
it is.
Yeah. And knowing that now, someone was asking me today, grief is, there's like, what is that saying? I said, grief is love with nowhere to go. So finding a way to bring that love full circle back to yourself, in their memory, with their memories. I have shrines all over my house with photos and fun, toys and stuff. And then I think probably, like the rest of you, I will be cleaning under something and one of those toys comes rolling out and I have a moment. I have a grief burst. I didn't expect it.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to be there. And I love shrines because they're kind of like kind of saying, hey, I have integrated this pet, and now when I get remembered to them, they're regulating me just as much as they did when they were not outside me. So when you can get to a point where you can kind of come up with those and get it,
Yeah, I think one of the things that has shifted for me over the years, and I don't know about you guys at home, but one of the things that shifted for me was, in the beginning, extreme loss would cause me to just like shut everything up, lock it away, remove all visual sign, because to look was so painful. And now, to your point, I have my little shrines and they're integrated into my life. They're a part of my life and they bring me comfort.
And they spend all that time snuggling with us to write that on us, It's like, it'd be a shame to have it go to waste,
Exactly.
It's like we want to become better with that's the whole point of this, taking care of this earth and taking care of these animals, is we're all getting better together.
This is, what a great technique. So let's go through it again. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to have Byron do it, and here we go through the 10 points.
So, side of the hand. And often this is what we call the setup point, so we're kind of moving toward whatever uncomfortable we want to address. So, like, even though I miss my pets, even though I have this heaviness and this loneliness, I completely love and accept myself. I choose to let it go. So it's an acknowledgement, an acceptance, and then a release. And then if you start that feeling in your body, then you go to the top of the head.
So do you feel a shift?
You should look for a shift. You should look for an intensity or an emotion of it.
Okay.
And then once you feel that, then you can move to the top of the head. And this is where we allow the body to be told that it's safe. And every point is, you're safe, I love you, And then beginning of the eyebrow.
Okay. Right in the beginning of the eyebrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're going to feel somatic responses as you tap. And sometimes some points are going to be more intense than others. And that's okay. It's just going to be, it's like a wave,
Is that like stuck energy? Or something that needs to...
I think the way
process and
things
move.
get written on our bodies,
Uh-huh.
It can be written in different parts, and I think it might be related to proximity of those parts and stuff, but that's not really in any of the literature, really.
Okay.
But I would definitely say that being able to communicate so clearly to your body in the moment that it's safe is what really makes a huge difference. You don't have to overthink tapping. Once you've kind of found the thing you want to work on, you can just let yourself move through the points, and then check in. It's key at the end of it. You just kind of check in and say, how do I feel? Do I feel the exact same that I did when I began?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times you don't. There has been some shift. And I definitely would say when we're feeling things at a 10 and it drops down to a 4, we're like, oh, a 4, I can handle a 4, that's nothing. I would say it's okay to go to 0. There's no reason to carry or hold any extra stuff, even though you feel like you can do it.
What is that? We want to soldier
You
through that. What is that?
It's interesting. A lot of times people use traumatic events to kind of give them purpose or reasoning and stuff like that, but it's just not healthy. It just burns you. That's where people get a lot of burnout, where they've used this sadness or trauma to get stuff done, and at the end of the time, it's just too much for the body.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I mean, we're human beings.
Yeah. It's
not human doings.
Yeah, it's not the
right?
way to do it.
We just think we should be doing.
So here we do the ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono or ho'oponopono.
That's right.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry.
I'm learning.
I'm sorry.
I'm learning along with you.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it's like a release and then gratitude.
Yeah. And all those words are so special and wonderful words. We don't want any somatic response. We don't want any fight or flight responses attached to those words when we say them to other people or people say them to us. So how nice it is when we use it in tapping, it cleans it up. So they can be super authentic words for everybody that we come in contact to. So.
And so here we are at the bra line.
Yep. Backpack or bra side.
I guess for you, backpack.
Backpack for me. At least. And then top of the head.
And then top of the head.
Right there.
Wow.
And that's it. And I say 90 seconds. And if you want to make it a practice, like a daily practice, try for 20 minutes. If you already have a ritual that you do, a coping mechanism, even if it's not even a very good one, just add tapping to it like a little sparkle juice, right? Just add it to the top of all those things. If you have a yoga practice, add a little tapping to your yoga practice, like any of those things, because you're gonna notice you'll love it.
Well, and this is all about mind, body, spirit work. Right? Because a lot of times I think we walk around, as we were talking about, disembodied heads, and we don't feel connected to the head is connected to the body, is connected to the earth, we're connected to the sky. Yeah. Like we sometimes forget that and forget to breathe, which I will do. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm breathing again. Well, I hope this gave you all some really big breaths and just something new to help you as we walk this walk together in our love of our animal companions, our love of one another, how we support one another through this incredible journey that we call life. Byron is working on a book called Tapping for Pet Loss. I won't hold you to a launch date. Yeah, don't. But hey, it's valuable work that you're doing.
I think it is really powerful, and I think especially in where we work and stuff, it's right to the heart. So.
Well, you help a lot of people at Angel's Rest as they tuck in their sweet animal companions for, I want to say visually, the last time that they see them. And you want to leave us with some words on how that affects you.
I think I have one of the most amazing jobs I can even imagine. Just being there where people are feeling that most sacred moment, that space, and being able to place them lovingly. It's here at the Canyon. It's like I said, it's a sacred place, and I think it's a very sacred job. So I appreciate being here.
Oh, beautifully said. Thank you, Byron, for being with us today.
Yay.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you all for joining us. Byron Owens, Patty Hegwood. Y'all take care.